Good morning, everybody. It's your girl, Miracle Sims, and you're listening to God, Sex, and Love. Your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. It is Tuesday. I know that much. And it is November the 7th, 2023. And today the topic is Pray Today, Worry Tomorrow. Yes, happy Tuesday, y'all. Happy Tuesday. I hope you all had a wonderful Monday. Mine was just fine. Yes, mine was pretty much a chill day overall. Good quality time with me and my men folk. Um, yeah, that was the main thing. I mean, NJ took a class yesterday. I would say that, it seems like his memory and everything going pretty good. I feel like his whole interaction in the virtual class is getting better and everything like that. And I say getting better in regards to like the fact that he's being more patient and I'm not hearing so many of the vocal like being super sad when he doesn't get chosen and you know what I mean, just things like that. So super proud of him growing up, and everything. And so yeah, man, yep, great Monday. So y'all, I feel like this conversation today, pray today, worry tomorrow, it's a bit of a continuation from yesterday, I think. I would say that the inspiration came partially from the prayer meditation that I listened to this morning with the Soul Space app. Let me share with you guys what it was. So I ended up writing down the title for today's Soul Space app prayer meditation, and it was fear is the abuse of the gift of imagination. So I was like, sounds good. And so I listened to it, and it's all about trusting God and focusing on today and not worrying about tomorrow and all that type of stuff. And I'm like, you right, Lord, like I said, I mean, again, with me talking about the whole being at the crossroads yesterday and all that type of stuff. And then today getting reminded to, hey, trust me and don't worry about tomorrow and all that type of stuff. I'm like, okay, well, Lord, I hear you. Because I feel like this just kept being reiterated yesterday and then this morning. And so I guess the final thought for the Soul Space app this morning, it left me with this. It said, I will trust you in the very present now. And I'm like, there it is. There's today's topic because, there's a couple of things that came into my heart and mind. Like right after I listened to the prayer meditation, that song Over and Over by Nelly came into my heart and mind. And I'm like, okay. Because one of the things I started to think about as I was listening to the prayer meditation this morning is this idea or the fear that we have in our own minds. It's just all in our head majority of the time. Like it's not even like reality, but it's like whatever we hype our mind to think like that our future might hold, or that the worst case scenario of whatever our situations are, right? Have you ever been there, feeling like, man, this is the worst thing ever, but then it's really all in your head. It's not really that bad or whatever case may be. But anyway, so I did go look up those lyrics this morning. And as I was reading them, it kind of made me feel like perhaps God was singing this song this morning. Probably not the expletives. I'm not saying all that, but I'm just talking about the parts about like, just, I guess, constantly thinking about us and, we constantly choosing to go the other way. Like we talked about yesterday in that other verse and whatnot, the very first verse that I started with yesterday. And, yeah, so basically what kept being reiterated to me this morning as I was looking into all of this was this word worry. And I know we're all familiar with it at one point or another. I'm sure we all have worried about something. And, I know, again, I probably worried about the future a lot back in the day. And that's one thing that I can say that has shifted for me today, right? I don't do too much. I mean, sure, I plan and I think about stuff and, stuff like that, but worrying about it and stuff like that, I guess I just try my best to just focus on what's going on today. And so when I looked at the definition of worry, it says give way to anxiety or unease, allow one's mind to dwell on difficulty or troubles. And then I noticed that the second definition says the state of anxiety and uncertainty over actual or potential problems. So again, that made me think about everything that I had already just told you guys about. Again, a lot of the stuff is all in our head, right? It's not even a real problem. It's just the potential of a problem makes us worry and things like that. So what I hope is that today's conversation will be encouraging and inspiring to you to let go of the worries and what can we do when we start to feel like that and everything like that. I mean, obviously the title tells you, look, my new philosophy that's not new at all, but I'm going to take it for today. My new philosophy is pray today and worry tomorrow. And just keep doing that and say, you know what, I'm going to worry tomorrow and I'm going to pray today. And then when the next day comes, you know what, I'm going to worry about that tomorrow and I'm going to pray today. If we keep doing that, then maybe we'll be on track with what the Lord wants us to do. Just saying, just throwing it out there, little practical things. But speaking of practical things, I ended up reading and skimming through a variety of different articles at gotquestions.org. And one of the first ones I took a look at was saying, don't worry about tomorrow. Is that even possible? So the interesting thing is, as I was looking over that one and reading it and whatnot, it gave us 4 practical things to kind of do instead of worry. So, I mean, you guys can go deeper and read the entire thing on your own, but I'm just going to share with you guys the quick list of what we can do. Obviously, thing number 1 is to pray. I know y'all oh, you already didn't say pray, and then sometimes you feel like prayer is the least that you can do, right? But it's very interesting how the Bible is reiterating to us that prayer is the first best thing you can do in any situation. And I'm not just saying this. I'm saying when you read the Bible, it's literally telling us to pray always and, don't stop praying and all these different type of things. And so, yeah, I mean, that's the first practical thing you to do. Go and take this worry, concern, whatever it is to the Lord. Hey, Lord, I woke up this morning and we ain't got no breakfast. If you could, I'm just letting you know. He already know, but I mean, whatever it is, just present it to him in prayer. And that's step number 1. All right. Step number 2, it says to rely on God's grace. Now, if we continue this story about not having breakfast, then maybe we could go to the Lord in prayer. Lord, I don't have breakfast, but I know that your grace is sufficient for me. I know that probably sounds crazy. But this is what it's telling us. It gives it basically in the article, it gave it this example about Paul and how he had the thorn in his side. And basically God told him that, hey, your grace is sufficient for me. I'm not going to take away the thorn from your side, X, Y, and Z. And then there was another article. I can't remember if I wrote it down, but at first I'm like, oh, it was an article that was kind of talking about if this is what the word says about, God taking care of our needs and food and clothing, X, Y, and Z, then why are there people hungry and, X, Y, and Z? And I ain't gonna lie, I read that article and I just was like, I maybe have more questions. I'm like, well, see, this is why people be doubting because, there are people without food or whatever the case may be. And I don't know if the article explained it to the best or whatever, and whatnot. But I mean, you guys can go deeper and look up that article on your own. Like I said, it's at gotquestions.org. But again, with number 2, relying on God's grace, it's something that we as believers is called to do. So I gave my example of what that would look like in your prayer life and stuff. But yeah, it would be basically presenting to the Lord your issue, your problem, your concern. And then, but at the end of the day, understanding that, okay, regardless of if you handle this the way that I hope or not, I put my faith and trust in you and relying on you and your grace. So then thing number 3, it says to discipline the mind. We don't like to do that, do we? We want to let our mind roam and all that type of stuff. But it says, I mean, I feel like it's a good example. Go read the article, read all the extra things they had to say about it. But again, it said number 3 was disciplining our mind. And I would say that kind of starts with taking captive of those thoughts instead of allowing, for example, if we continue this whole example about the food and the breakfast, right? Instead of just allowing your mind to wander and just think about all the food and breakfast that you don't have and just going on that. Take control of your mind after that. You know what? I done already prayed about it. The Lord got it under control. His grace is sufficient for me. Let me go forth and think about something else or do something else, whatever the case may be. Take, control of your mind, discipline your mind. And then thing number 4 is, oh, my handwriting. I believe it was take action. You guys, again, y'all can read it yourself, but I believe that number 4 was to take action. So again, let's use this example about the breakfast. Lord, we don't have no breakfast, but I trust you and your ability, your grace is sufficient for me, even if I don't get breakfast. You know what? I'm going to discipline my mind to not even think about breakfast. Right? And then at this point, number 4 would be to take action. So, I mean, hey, perhaps maybe you could take action, I guess, at that point and look in your pantry and see, hey, you know what? We got some grits. So we got breakfast. I don't know. I'm just giving examples, friends. But I mean, yeah, man, taking action. Again, it's not just dwelling on it. It's not just, again, faith will put forth works. Like it goes hand in hand. So therefore, taking action could be literally, like I just said, like getting up off your feet and seeing what you do have, and then when you realize it, wait a minute, you know what? I do got this or that or whatever. Or hey, you know what? I have this plow. Let me see if my neighbor, I'm going to knock on my neighbor's door. Hey, neighbor, can I do a little work real quick? Can I do a little work? Then next thing you know, you got some funds to get what? Breakfast. I'm just saying, I don't know. This is the little example that the Lord has just given me. I hope that it encourages you and inspires you. But yeah, those are 4 practical things that we can do instead of worrying, right? Instead of worrying, let's try those things next time. I'm just saying. Now, again, there's a whole nother article that I came across this morning. It was called, What Does It Mean That Sufficient for the Day Is Its Own Trouble? You guys can go deeper about all of that. Plenty of other verses and stuff as well. But let me get into some of these verses that stood out to me to share this morning. So Romans 12:12, it says, rejoice in hope, be patient in tribulation, be constant in prayer. So there you go. I mean, again, as believers, we are not like, I guess, unbelievers that don't have hope. At the end of the day, we know that God is in control. We do understand that, hey, again, everything might not happen and look the way I think it should happen and look. But at the same time, if I'm going to be a believer in the Lord, then I'm going to have to trust and believe that He has my best interests and heart and mind, and that He has it all under control, and that His plan is better than my own. That can go deeper about all of that, but let me give you guys another verse. I mean, I already talked to you guys about being constant in prayer, and again, the Bible is very clear about like always be praying, So I guess that's what the true ABP is. Instead of always be promoting, it's always be praying. So, I mean, and again, if you do those things, then you can be patient in tribulation because you're trusting the Lord. You're not trusting your own, yourself or any of the things. You're trusting the Lord in the midst of the tribulation. So broke down that verse. I hope that encourages you and inspires you. So then John 16:33 stood out to me this morning, and I wrote that one down. It says, I have said these things to you that in me you may have peace. In the world you will have tribulation, but take heart, I have overcome the world. So we just talked about being patient in tribulation, right? Well, here goes something that might be Pope, but here it is. It says, in the world you will have tribulation. It didn't say you might have a little bit of tribulation. No, it said in the world you will have tribulation. That really stood out to me this morning. I just was really thinking about it because, again, I feel like I talk about this all the time, but here it is, friends. I don't know why we think we can or should go through life without ups and downs, of tribulations, of suffering of some sort. Again, Christ went through it himself from the moment he was conceived, really, to, and everything like that. So, I mean, in this current world and state, I think it would just be wise for us to understand that we're going to go through tribulations of some sort. But that is not where things end for us, right? If we are believers, we understand that, hey, this is just temporary what's going on here. Again, like maybe the reason we, and I don't know, I feel like I keep saying this, but here it is. I don't know. Maybe the reason why we keep feeling like there is something wrong with the suffering, or feel like it's not right, or the justice, or whatever the case may be, is because technically we wasn't supposed to be living that way. According to the Bible, we were supposed to just, live like God, be in his presence, things of that nature. But obviously we understand with the fall and Adam and Eve, X, Y, and Z, that shifted and changed things in the world. So, maybe deep within us, we know, right, that we weren't really supposed to live like this. And so maybe that's why we can't, it's hard to be like, dealing with the tribulations or suffering and whatnot that we deal with. But on the flip side, again, if you just go ahead and just read the word, just go ahead and just get into your heart and mind that, hey, you know what, there's going to be suffering of some sort. There's going to be tribulations of some sort. The Bible tells us this. It said will. It doesn't say maybe. So it just, I don't know. Like I said, I think there's something to just understanding that part, right? But then along with that, also understanding that we have hope. We can still have peace in the midst of the tribulations and all those different type of things. And he's literally saying here in this verse that, hey, I'm letting you know these things so you can trust in me and so you can have peace, and everything like that. Because I've overcome the world already. I've already won. So I hope that encourages you, inspires you this morning. Let me give you guys another verse. It's Matthew 6:33 and 34. It says, but seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added to you. Therefore, do not be anxious about tomorrow, for tomorrow will be anxious for itself. Sufficient for the day is its own trouble. So my new philosophy, y'all, is look, pray today, worry tomorrow, and keep on doing that. You know what? The next day come, you know what? I'm going to pray today and worry tomorrow. Next day come, I'm going to pray today and worry tomorrow. And I guess, again, the more we do that, the more we'll be in alignment with the Lord's word and everything like that. And I guess ultimately that is the juice. Now, if you do want to worry about something today, I can give you guys something to worry about. You can worry about whether you are in right standing with the Lord. Because actually, the very first article that I came across this morning at GotQuestions.org was, what does it mean that today is the day for salvation? That's something you can go ahead and think about today if you want to. Very important choices and whatnot, And if I needed to go ahead and get any extra confirmation, the Bible verse of today turns out to be none other than John 16:33, what I already shared, but I'm going to read it again. It says, I have said these things to you, that in me you may have peace. In the world you will have tribulation, but take heart, I have overcome the world. Friends, I hope you all enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. I pray you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye. There you go. Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, anybody listening to the sound of my voice, I hope that you all are encouraged and inspired. Look, shout out to me. It's 6:28 right now, so I guess I recorded kind of on time. I think a few minutes after 6, but it's a little bit earlier than the past few days, so there you go. Actually, you guys know I'm using my juice journals, everything like that. And actually, I just came across a fun page. So let me show y'all the fun page that I just passed. It is for the glory and honor of God. Yes. So again, sprinkled throughout the juices, these fun pages with some prompts and things like that. If you're not going to get the juice, then let me go ahead and give you guys these prompts. You guys can think about these things today. Basically, it says, whether therefore ye eat or drink or whatsoever ye do, do all to the glory of God, which is 1 Corinthians 10:31. It asks, on the fun page, it asks, what does the verse above mean to you? It also asks, what do you think it looks like to truly do everything for the glory and honor of God? And then the last question on that page is, how can you be intentional about doing this? So you guys can do this homework today if you so feel led to do. Again, if you guys want to get the juice, all you got to do is go to actressmiraclesons.com and click my books, or just go to Amazon. You guys can find all my stuff there as well. But yeah, that is what's going on. I don't have too much to do today. So it might be another kind of chill day. I guess I'll let y'all know. It's the Lord's will. All right. But y'all have a great, great day, and I look forward to talking to y'all tomorrow. If the Lord's will. Bye.